Welcome into the Cowboys Report, another live show Thursday, and somehow another mid-practice injury for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll break it all down for you. Trevon Diggs getting an MRI currently on his left knee. He apparently got tangled up in a one-on-one at practice, and there is obvious concern over the injury. MRI ongoing as we sit here live. Don't have any details beyond that. Dak was not going to speculate afterwards. Diggs was on crutches after the practice, which is not a good sign. So send the good vibes for me in the comment section. Type 7 to put some good energy out there into the universe for Trevon Diggs as he is getting an MRI on that left knee, left practice today on crutches. Spam your 7s in the comment section. You don't see very many practice injuries normally, and we haven't seen really any under the Mike McCarthy era, but for whatever reason, the first 3 weeks this year, there's been a random practice injury. Tyron Smith week 1, Zach Martin week 2 on Thursday, and now Trevon Diggs. It just doesn't make any sense. Again, the details for those of you just now tuning in live here, and what we know so far. Trevon Diggs injured his knee at practice today. He is getting an MRI on that knee. As we sit currently, we don't know, what's going to happen beyond that, but Diggs did suffer an injury to that knee. I believe it was his left knee. Let me double check and make sure that was the case. I'm pretty sure it was left knee. I'll have to double check here. But Trevon Diggs getting an MRI on that knee. What is most concerning is that he left practice on crutches. It'd be one thing if they were just getting the MRI or whatever, but now he's was on crutches, getting that MRI done on his left knee, or on his knee. So we don't know anything else really beyond that. Maybe we'll get more word during today's live show. Ideally, it's just like a sprain or something minor, nothing too bad, not, the dreaded tear or anything like that, but that's all we know. Trevon Diggs getting an MRI on his knee, tangled up, I believe, at a one-on-one at practice today early on, left on crutches. None of that is very good. I mean, it's a one-on-one. Like, those happen every day. It's not anything unusual. It's just like a freak bad injury is what it would be from that perspective. So we'll see. Spam the comment section with your 7s. Send the good vibes out there for Trevon Diggs there. Higante was not non-contact. I mean, it's one-on-one. I heard he got tangled up. I don't know if the non-contact versus contact matters that much here. Like, it's the knee. It's just kind of is what it is at that point. We'll just have to wait and see what will happen on that front. So hopefully it's good news, but as of right now, concerning. All right, we'll come back to Trevon Diggs later on. We'll spend some time now on Micah Parsons, the normally planned segment of today's show. Micah's looking for nicknames for his kind of lion crawl sack celebration. What do you think it should be called? Sound off in the comment section right now. We'll try to spin some positive vibes on what is not the same energy show that I thought we were going to have today, because we just can't have nice things. The Parsons prowl is a good one. I think prowl in general is the right term for it. The prowler is also a good one. Parsons prowl, I think, is a very solid one. Beast mode is solid. Lion's roar, just the lion crawl. Doomsday devourer, which is a mouthful. Parsons pride is a good one. That's a good nickname for this defense. The Parsons pride. I don't know if I can say that one out loud there, Michael, but it's funny. The hunt, same with that one. Jeremy Chugs burner. Prowler. I think prowl or prowler in some capacity is really good. Parsons pounce is a good one too. That's a good one too. Lion bite. The Lion's Den prowler. The pride. Kingdom crawl. Okay, I suppose that works. Let's see. We got the cat crawl. If you were a cat team, I think that would be much better. The Lion attack. Parsons Predator. It's a good one, too. Predator Prowl. Something along those lines. I don't know. Keep the answers coming. We'll also spend some time today, and maybe your answer changes because Trevon Diggs is now injured. Micah Parsons desperately wants those Mike Vrabel, J.J. Watt touchdown catches. That's what he wants at tight end. He got some reps, I think, and emphasis on some, it was very few, scout team tight end reps because, Micah wants to do it fine. He can go out there, run around. Nobody jam Micah at the line. Everyone be cautious with it, right? Do you want Micah Parsons to get some offensive snaps? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pin poll, by the way, on today's show. 58% say no, 42% say yes. I think it would have to be in red zone looks only. You're not going to put him out there as an actual tight end on 2nd and 7 from your own 35. I think it would only be in those red zone package scenarios. And I'm okay with the package scenario for Micah Parsons. Keep it coming, though. Y for yes, N for no. A $5 super chat from Object Pawar. I really hope the offensive play calling doesn't become extremely conservative like it did under Jason Garrett and makes Dak look bad. The nice part is Dak has been dealing on third downs, which is what has made your offense go, because you haven't run the ball that crazy efficiently, in part because, the game script's been dictating conservative plays. Like Kellen might have dropped 40 against the Jets, but bleed the clock off. They ran into one of the red zone plays on third down. They were very cautious there. As long as the end results are still good, we're okay with some of the slightly more conservative looks there, but we'll have to wait and see. I understand your concerns there. I think in the fourth quarter, Mike wants to run the football, but I'm not sure he's going to want to run the football early on. They threw it a lot still against Jets. It was short stuff, but they threw it a lot against New York. Pin comment, 60% say no at this stage, which I'm not overly surprised on. Let's check in here on the Trevon Diggs status one more time for those of you just now tuning in. We will hit it all throughout today's show. For those of you just now tuning in, Diggs was injured during Thursday's practice. He is getting an MRI on his knee, and he was on crutches after practice. Now, we don't have many more details beyond that. Last I heard, it was a one-on-one rep in which he just kind of got tangled up on, and something's like that. I don't want to speculate. What is it? Is it bad? Is it nothing? We don't really know. I believe he walked off under his own power, but he also then got crutches, and I don't know if either of those indicate one way or the other from that perspective what's really going on, but the severity is unknown. It's an MRI on his knee. Hopefully it's just a sprain. There's nothing too bad beyond that. That'd be, I think, the ideal outcome at this stage, but all we know for now is MRI on crutches. MRI is ongoing as of last update there. But he did walk off under the field, under his own power. Cart wasn't needed, but he's on crutches. So no one knows. Hopefully it'll be okay. You can keep flooding the comment section with your sevens to send some good vibes for Trevon Diggs. Lone Wolf, $2. Like me posting the old F clip on X. I did like that one. I also bookmarked that because if it's bad, I'm actually going to tweet that one out. It's just how it goes. So I hope it's fine. I hope it is, but I don't know. By the way, I would doubt Diggs plays against the Cardinals. Whatever the injury is, I would assume he does not go. I assume even if it's just a minor sprain, he sits, but who knows. S. Gutierrez, think we will get safety Diggs from the Bills. So do you mean Quandre Diggs, who's on the Seahawks, or do you mean Stephon Diggs, the Bills? I assume this is Stephon Diggs, and it's just a weird autocorrect from Stephon to safety, and not just the safety Quandre Diggs. So I'm going to answer it from the Stephon Diggs perspective. No, the Bills are not trading him right now. Now, I know we will have the whole conversation again next year. next offseason. I know that'll happen, but they're not trading him right now. We do still need, by the way, to come up with the new 4 stars on the rumors list. It was Zeke Eating. Zeke is gone. I feel like Parsons on the prowl is maybe the best one out there. But I'm open to ideas here. And I'm going to grab some of the best ones, send them to myself, and then we will make it into a poll here on the channel one of these days. So throw them in. 4 stars. It means it's a done deal. It's a fact on the rumors list. So what ideas do you guys have? I know it's a bit of a longer question, so we'll come back to this one as we answer the super chat from Seth. Prayers up for Diggs. Lee is a linebacker coach, good mentor for Micah. I would say that if Sean Lee wanted to be a Cowboys coach, he would be a Cowboys coach at this stage. I don't think it's the Cowboys haven't shown interest. It's that Sean's been pretty quiet since he retired. I would assume that it simply means he's not wanting to coach at this point. But it's fair point, Seth, especially on the Diggs angle there. What do we call the new 4 stars on the rumors list? Yacht Boys something on fire. They're cooking. Parsons on the prowl is a good one too. Let's see. Lion King, it's not a bad one either. I'll write that one down. See, Dak for the tutty. Andres doesn't like Prowler. It's the dumbest thing for a football reference. There are dumber things, I promise you. I promise you. Other ideas for the new 4 stars on the rumors list. Dax Thielen is a good one too, although, yeah, it also checks because it's 4, he's 4. I think that makes sense there. Your Blue says Tom is my dad. No, I'm not. Tony drops the football. That's pretty funny, but he's a Chief, so if this is a Broncos one, sure. Keep it coming. We have another super chat, by the way, from Rashard Lee. Can we get Jamal Adams to play linebacker? Jamal Adams this year, his contract, we can bring this one up during the mailbag too, so do make note of that. Jamal Adams' contract this year is, he's been banged up, by the way. Again, he's actually very cheap right now, barely $1 million, but Seattle's a contender. Also, you kind of have Marquise Bell, Jaron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, all kind of playing that linebacker safety hybrid role. We know that he would fit in the defense, but I think you kind of have guys in that spot at this stage. Let's not go to that one because we didn't spell Monday right, so fix that, then we can go to it. Some more nicknames coming in for the 4 stars. Also, some people are behind on, they're responding to what the sack crawl celebration should be. Hit live on YouTube. Make sure you're not behind. If you leave and come back, it'll always actually put you back to where you were, not the live moment, which is pretty frustrating from that perspective. All right, we had it's the Cowboys fear. It's a torn ACL for Trevon Diggs. Make that into an L3, by the way. Cowboys fear torn ACL for Trevon Diggs. Cowboys do fear it as a torn ACL. I'll take the player card. We'll go to that next. The news here is the Cowboys fear a torn ACL for Trevon Diggs, which is about as bad of an outcome as you'd be able to have from the Dallas perspective. Not many worse outcomes for Dallas. He's getting the MRI. Go to the player card for me here, Chris. Torn ACL is the fear for Trevon Diggs at this stage. Injured during Thursday's practice. He's getting an MRI on his knee. He was on crutches after practice, wasn't carted off, but the Cowboys fear it is a torn ACL for Trevon Diggs, which would be just an absolutely brutal outcome. That's what the initial tests are. That's what the initial tests indicated for Diggs and the Cowboys. Not confirmed, but that is the concern for Dallas, which would be very, very troubling for the Cowboys. There, anyone sign with some quick thoughts here, producer Chris, for me? Any overall thoughts? You're about to type your sevens to send some good vibes for Diggs.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretty brutal. You know, you have Micah's probably your best defensive player, and then Trevon's number 2. You know, nobody throws at Trevon. He's like sauce. He's like these other DBs around the league that you just don't throw at. You try to pick somebody else on the team, on the defense to pick on if you're the quarterback for the other team. I mean, it's just brutal. 3rd week of the season. You know, you don't ever want it to happen, obviously. But man, where do you go from here? Do you try to, if it is, hypothetically, if it is, do you try to trade for somebody? They traded for Noah Igbenogany. What do you do from here?
I think what you would do is you would try to find a way to get DaRon Bland as your outside corner, and now you would make Jordan Lewis, who's now healthy, your nickel corner. That's probably the route you would go if you're Dallas. If it does end up being confirmed, torn ACL, which that's the initial concern for. The MRI's confirmed it. Fuck. Confirmed. I'll change this on the player card here. I'll update these notes here. It's a torn ACL for Trevon Diggs. So that's about as bad of an outcome as you could have potentially been hoping for here. A huge loss he was just involved in a one-on-one rep at practice on Thursday. We'll get the new one up there. And now he's out for the year with torn ACL. So get to the other player card with the updated notes there. Diggs' season is over. A torn ACL for Trevon Diggs. Season over after he was injured in a one-on-one rep. That's all it was. That's all it was, and he goes down, tears his ACL. Season is over. It's about as bad of an outcome as you could have been concerned about for the Cowboys and for Trevon Diggs. The season over for the Cowboys' star cornerback, a torn ACL. Just an unreal outcome for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm so tired, by the way. This is not the first time it's happened. It's another one of these random-ass, just Thursday injuries that shouldn't really happen. Like, these are not supposed to be going on. So it is again, breaking news here on the show, a confirmed torn ACL for the Dallas Cowboys and cornerback Trevon Diggs. His season is now over, which is about as bad of an outcome as could have happened there. Put your sevens in the comment section to pour one out for Trevon Diggs and the Cowboys. I'll give some shout-outs here, too. I see Matt Black, Brian Perry, Vince, Weston, Jerry, Jimmy, Garin, Michael, Star Power, Kyle Barker. Yeah, that is been a crappy Thursday, hadn't it been, producer Chris? Just all these just stupid stuff going on here. Just stupid stuff. It's just heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. Some super chats coming in. We'll hit these here as well. Just the unbelievable development for the Cowboys. Right as they're looking like they're going to get healthy, not so fast. A torn ACL for Trevon Diggs. That's been the concern for the Dallas Cowboys. MRI has already confirmed that per NFL Network. So that's a horrible, horrible outcome. Let's hit some of these super chats here, producer Chris. Two games into the year, and you lose your number one corner on a practice. Just in a horrible, horrible development there. Super chat here from Marcus Arnold. Next man up is what it is. Yeah, it's got to be your mindset. It's not ideal. Jeremy Chugs' burner account, a $5 super chat. This ACL tear feels like when Sue stepped on Runner's calf, except it's my balls. Manscaped by Cleat. What do we do now? What you're going to do is you're going to put Deron Bland on the outside. He's going to be your next man up at the nickel corner spot. Diggs will go on IR. His season will be over. You'll have Nashawn Wright, in theory, coming back soon. You'll probably promote TJ Goodwin to your active roster, potentially this week or next week. But yeah, that's Jordan Lewis now going to play a big role for you at nickel corner. Sucks. Will Marshall was saying hopefully Diggs' injury isn't bad. Not confirmed. This came in before there was like a 5-minute gap of, hey, Cowboys fear torn ACL to it's torn ACL. Not confirmed. Smart move keeping Lewis. Do we have depth moving with Bland outside? Mukwamu step in. I think you'll probably see Mukwamu get some more run at corner too. That's a good point there, Will. That's what I would do. I think he's really good in that role. I think he's been really good in that brief role we saw him, not that long ago, but I think it's worth mentioning there. You have who else? Deshaun Wright is maybe going to come back at some point soon. Noah Igbinoghene, Eric Scott Jr. is on your roster, but yeah, it sucks. Andres Nunya, it's a fun name. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's almost 5 o'clock on the East Coast, so we're getting really close to being able to start drinking here. Brian Parsons, is this due to turf? I don't think so. I'm sure, unfortunately, I think the NFLPA is going to spin this into turf. The Cowboys' turf is actually really good, to be clear. And they weren't on the game field anyway. They'd be on the practice field, so I wouldn't blame them on the turf at all. Kyle Busch Productions, worst luck ever. Last 3 weeks in sports for me sucks. Diggs out for the year. Kyle Busch doing poorly. Just a never-ending curse. I feel your pain. Seth, too many injuries in practice. Stop your starters. But you need to have your starters get practice reps. Because otherwise they'd be rusty. Like that, and that's not a good outcome for the Dallas Cowboys. Can you just respond to the Slack and just say it's the other stuff too? You need those guys in there. You can't just not play your starters at all in practice and be expected to play well in the games. It's a rare occurrence this keeps happening. It really sucks, but that is what it is. By the way, everyone spam F Chugs in the comment section. Don't even go to the super chat. Don't even go to it. You guys can see in the chat. He's trying to troll an injury, and that's just not okay. So no, we're not going to go to Jeremy Chugs' burner account or his actual account. We're not doing it. I refuse to do it. Chris B, Richard Lee, we'll hit your super chats. I am fine hitting those, but we're going to skip Jeremy's. F Chugs in the comments. We're not doing that. Chris B, best I felt about a team in a while, and of course we won't see our full team play one damn time. At least we have Gilmore trade for a corner. You did trade for one before the year began in Noah Igbinoghene. You have Jordan Lewis. You have Deron Bland. You've got 2 drafted corners. We'll do an entire replacements video tomorrow morning. That'll be available in the morning as part of this, but that's how it is. Richard Lee, we can never have nice things. No, we cannot. It sucks how it works, right? Doesn't it? Marcus Arnold says Bland's going to lead the league in picks. He was having a great performance last year. I'm pretty sure he was the team leader in interceptions last season. Wouldn't be a bad thing if that ends up happening. So thank you, Marcus. I appreciate there. Well, we will go to this Jeremy Chugs super chat. This one, he says, I'm trying to be nice. Y'all had a great start. Yeah, the first one was a little bit too much, making it seem like you were cheering for injuries there, Jeremy. Just a little bit for me. I don't have to type F-chugs this time around, but do keep that in mind. All right, let's get to the coming up here on today's show. We're still going to get to all the originally planned stuff that all kind of went by the wayside with Trevon Diggs being out for the season, which is, just unbelievably heartbreaking here. The latest Cowboys news and rumors, we'll cover that for you. Cowboys trade rumors, no corners a part of that, because again, it was all done before the injury news. A Cowboys Q&A, Cowboys Cardinals preview as well. So when we get to this part here, by the way, for the Diggs stuff, just kind of make that the first 4 minutes and just kind of come back to me full screen, and then I'll kind of adjust the script here of like, we'll pull this up and put this here. Just kind of do some full screen stuff kind of throughout, mix in whatever, just to kind of make that the first 6-ish minutes, 5-ish minutes of the cut there. Big news of the day, a torn ACL for the Dallas Cowboys, or for Trevon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys, a disastrous outcome on just a normal Thursday that continued to not be very fun for the Cowboys. We'll break down the entire show you see right there, headlined by the Trevon Diggs injury, getting started right now. Today's not-so-fun edition of the Cowboys Report is made possible by RexMD. You guys can get up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage when you go to rexmd.com/chat. The unfortunate news of the day. The Dallas Cowboys have lost star cornerback Trevon Diggs for the entire season. Trevon Diggs suffered a torn ACL at Cowboys practice today. Another just unbelievable development for a Cowboys football team that just never seems to have their star players all healthy together. Diggs reportedly just in a normal one-on-one drill at practice, very common, got his feet tangled up and whatever and tore his ACL in the process. The MRI has already occurred. The Cowboys' fear going into the MRI was a torn ACL. NFL Network's calling it a non-contact injury. I've seen reports of they got kind of just tangled up in a one-on-one. It doesn't really matter that much in the end. It is a torn ACL for Trevon Diggs, the Cowboys' star number one corner, who signed a well-earned, well-deserved contract extension earlier this offseason. Now he is out for the entire 2023 campaign. He gets just 2 games in to his year. The Cowboys' cursed Thursday injury luck continues, and Diggs will continue to miss the season. It's not fair. I am upset. I am heartbroken. It is not a good development for a Cowboys team that absolutely harbors high-end expectations, championship-level expectations. Now he's going to miss time. There's about no worse news that could have happened here for Trevon Diggs. Again, he one-on-one drill, pretty normal, went down, actually walked off the field, was not carted off. He was seen on crutches. That was kind of the big development once practice ended. Now Diggs' season is over with a torn ACL. The Cowboys will have to try to find a way to figure out who's going to replace Diggs at the cornerback spot. Now, he has not officially been placed on IR, but we know that outcome is going to happen, that Diggs will go on injured reserve. Stephon Gilmore now becomes the Cowboys' number one corner on the outside. Deron Bland had been playing nickel. My expectation is that Bland is going to move to the outside, which he did a lot in the preseason before. He's played outside corner. You'll probably then make Jordan Lewis your nickel option. You've also got Israel Mukuamu who can play that role. Noah Igbenogany, Eric Scott can both play on the outside. Nahshon Wright is on IR for at least 2 more games. Then he is eligible to come back. But at some point in the coming days, the Cowboys will place Diggs on IR. His season is now over with a torn ACL. All we can do now is try to send some good vibes towards the direction of Trevon Diggs. So flood the comment section with some 7s for Diggs, the Cowboys star corner. Type your 7 for me in the comment section right now, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. Go do it. We had an entire planned show. We'll still get to the stuff on, Micah Parsons wanting to play some offense, Mazi Smith, etc. But, how things change, right? Another Thursday injury. I'm sick of them. I hate them. They annoy me to no end. Diggs' season is over. It's a huge loss for the Cowboys. They've looked great through the first 2 games. I would argue the most impressive football team. Now he's not going to be out there. Just absolutely brutal from that perspective. Now, today's show is made possible by RexMD. Head over to rexmd.com/chat to get up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage with the men's online wellness source. If you sometimes feel you're lacking some confidence in the bedroom, want to have a more fulfilling sex life, maybe you're just feeling really down for whatever reason, especially today, RexMD offers an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for ED without having to visit a doctor's office. With just a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to find the right treatment plan, and the medication is made in the USA, so you can trust its quality. Plus, their customer support team is available 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns you might have. So if you want to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat and start your consultation today. Take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered and save up to 90% off. Only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. That's rexmd.com/chat. Links in the comment section and the description of today's show. Over now to our more regularly scheduled Cowboys program before the disastrous Trevon Diggs injury. Micah Parsons revealed he got some work at tight end on the scout team because Micah really wants those Mike Vrabel, J.J. Watt touchdown catches. Here's what Micah told the Pat McAfee show. Big Mike let me get a couple of scout team reps at tight end. He might not have let y'all know that. I probably shouldn't have spilled the tea. I just keep trying to show him glimpses for whatever opportunities I can get. I'm trying to touch this ball. Mike was then asked about it and said this. He played a snap there at tight end. I will not give you an evaluation on that, but yes, it's something you entertain. Definitely. Micah, honestly, does have that ability. And then Micah said the evaluation that Mike said he wasn't going to give. He was disappointed in my route. But I told him I didn't warm up, and I just went out there on the fly. I look forward to running it back this Friday. Now, there's no doubt that Micah wants those Vrabel Watt touchdown catches. I do wonder how the unfortunate Trevon Diggs torn ACL might make the Cowboys think twice about doing that one. But today's pin poll, or on the live show, and just our normal comment here, is do you want Micah Parsons to get some offensive snaps? Y for yes, N for no in the comment section. Maybe your answer changes what it was before the Diggs injury versus now, but sound off in the comment section. McCarthy's not wrong when he says Micah does have that ability. He was a great high school running back, and there was even buzz before he opted out of his final year at Penn State that he might return some kicks for the Nittany Lions because he is that impressive of an athlete. But the big thing here, especially with Diggs not out, is that you gotta make sure he's not hurt in the process. I am okay with a package on offense in the red zone, on the goal line. It's probably the only way you make it happen, have it make sense. You cannot put him out there on 1st and 10 from the 30. That's not a viable outcome. A red zone package? Sure, but that's kind of all I think you would really do. Let's spend some time here on Mazi Smith. Smith has only played 28 snaps so far this season. There's plenty of room to grow, although the snap count is so low, much like Jonathan Hankins' snap count is so low, because the game script has not required your nose guard to be out there. Mazi's had 2 tackles all season. That's it. 1 TFL, a pressure, by the way. Some flashes. there are still times his pad level gets just a little bit too high, and you'd like to find a way to keep that down a little bit more. Overall, Mazi's been fine. Like, he hasn't made a big splash, hasn't been asked. The games has been so pass heavy. The things you would want Mazi Smith out there for to make the big time plays to help out your defense haven't really been called upon. Like, you don't need Mazi out there up by 20 points in the fourth quarter. That's not, you're going to put Neville Gallimore, Chauncey Golston out there instead. So grade Mazi Smith so far. A, B, C, D, or F. Go vote for me in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. Now, we will be live for the Cowboys-Cardinals Week 3 matchup. We'll preview that later on this week as well. So make sure that you are subscribed to us here at the Cowboys Report. We'll be live well before kickoff. We'll go live an hour 20-ish again before the game begins. Hit that sub button right now. We do have to hit the Deion stuff again, too. I've made my thoughts on this pretty clear. Jerry Jones asked about Deion Sanders at Colorado. The Athletic is reporting that NFL teams could very well have interest, from that perspective of like, hey, maybe they bring him in for a workout or a meeting, I should say, whatever. And Jerry's answer, as we'll show you here in a second, was very much designed to not draw attention of like, oh, Jerry, Cowboys down. Didn't stop national media. The big talking head shows still found a way to spun it into Deion as Cowboys head coach, which is not going to happen. Here's what Jerry actually said. Let me tell you something. He's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach. He influences people, and of course that's part of it in the NFL. But I don't want to go there because you know where that starts going every which way. But Deion can influence and cause with his stature, his substance, what he is, as well as his own personality, being able to get inside and work with you on an individual basis. I am a product of that with him. Jerry knows how those questions could be spun. Like, oh, he's a great coach. Now, remember this part too, though. Deion has said he does not want to coach in the NFL. He doesn't want to try to motivate NFL players. And I think, to be honest, Deion's probably right. I think he's a better college coach. I do think some teams will call him. I mean, you've taken Colorado from a school that nobody talked about to they're ranked. They're 3-0. They've been electric. They've gotten attention, right? I think in the end, Coach Prime is best in college. I think that is his best spot. I think that's where he maximizes. How does Deion win as a coach? Being a good CEO, motivating college kids, and recruiting. You lose the recruiting side in the NFL. Hey, you might want to come play for a great head coach. That's all fine. But if they're not offering you the money, you ain't going there. You can't get them all in the NFL. Can't get them all in college, but you can get more. So will Deion Sanders ever coach in the NFL? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. The unfortunate news of the day, Trevon Diggs' season is over. We will hit those super chats that came in here, by the way, momentarily. I promise you that, folks. Trevon Diggs, a torn ACL, ending his season. Just a normal, standard, everyday, one-on-one rep. And Diggs goes down in some capacity, and his season is now over with a torn ACL. He was spotted on crutches leaving the facility. He allegedly wasn't carted off the field, but it all kind of doesn't matter from that perspective. Diggs' season is over. By the way, if you are celebrating Trevon Diggs' injury, just fuck off. Like, I'm just gonna block you from the channel. Like, you're just gone. Like, I'm putting on sub-only chat to get you guys to stop being assholes. If you are celebrating an injury, you are a shitty person. Trevon Diggs is a fine human being. This is the Deshaun Watson stuff. You're done. You're getting blocked. Like, I'm not dealing with that today. You are a shitty person. And you should feel that. You should feel bad about all of it. Get out. You will be blocked from the channel. I don't normally block people outside of the bots and like very clear racism, sexism, other stuff. Like we've seen it before. It's normally pretty fine, but like you're getting blocked. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You're just an ass. Language apologies, but I'm right. All right, some super chats here. Chad Dieter says, my dad, Rick, I don't even know how to do this one, hasn't shaved his balls in 35 years. Please ask him to do so. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. That's pretty gross. Apex Gaming, any chance Trevon Diggs comes back in the playoffs? I would say probably not. You know, that type of time frame ACL recovery is probably asking for too much. I'd say should be good to go for next year, but not for the playoffs. Yo, Squiggly, why even practice your best players on Thursday? Because every team does that. Friday's your walkthrough day. Thursday's your practice day. You have practice. Like, you can't just not practice players. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you have to have practices still. One-on-one drills are very common. Freak injuries happen. It sucks, but it is what it is. Ryan, I think the Cowboys will sign a corner. Also, Marquise, perhaps I misspoke. I'm not, racism and sexism are not fine, to be clear. I probably didn't phrase my words very well there because I was frustrated by the comment section. I meant that we haven't seen that. That's what I meant. We haven't seen much of that on the channel. But yes, cheering for injuries, yeah, I'm just going to block it. I don't know if they'll sign a corner. Like, probably not, actually. We'll do replacements tomorrow for you guys, tomorrow morning, but you're getting some players back there soon. Thomas Langley had a Commanders fan at work tell me, happy that Diggs got hurt, real classy. I will never celebrate injuries on any team. Thomas says, also read the last super chat, you skipped it. We were mid-cut, so I didn't read it, Thomas. It's okay. Yeah, don't be a jackass. Like, that's all we have to simply do is just be normal to people. Like, you wouldn't celebrate an injury to your own team, so why would you celebrate it to a rival? Like, it's not okay. Like, come on. Don't be a dick. It's not that hard for us as humans to treat other people as humans. If you are celebrating it, you are a shitty person. Like, I have no way around it. Also, by the way, Tyler Biadasz was limited with a hamstring today because that's just how it goes for this Cowboys team. Hopefully he's fine. The Diggs attention, obviously, a bit more concerning from that perspective. Kurt Stone, Diggs versus Diggs in Buffalo would have been fun as hell. Yes, it would. Yes, it would have been. Unfortunately, we don't get that anymore, which is really, really heartbreaking. DeLunatic. Hope Diggs a fast and full recovery. Injuries suck. Now we see where our depth kicks in. Bland and Jordan Lewis time. Go Cowboys. Those are going to be your next two men up. Yeah. Bland will play on the outside. Diggs will line up in there, or Lewis line up in there at nickel. We don't wife these 304s. What's the 304 area code? Because I assume that's what it's referring to. It's West Virginia. Oh boy. You're my hero. Thank you, my friend. Tristan Brown. I'm officially on the banned turf fields train. Look, the Cowboys turf is pretty good. I don't think if you want to go with all grass, it's fine. Sure. But like, I don't think this is just magically caused by turf. Like, the Cowboys turf has always been pretty damn good. But by the way, so this is not like, MetLife Stadium turf, which has been pretty bad. You're going to get some grass fields in Arizona that have been pretty bad too. It's how much do you want to spend to maintain it and keep it good. Not all teams spend to keep it well. Remy Gordon, I don't want to say about Trevon. How are you not torn by this? I mean, I am. Like, I am very upset and very heartbroken. I have a job to do, so I'm going to do it. But this sucks. Like, I hate losing players to injuries, especially one just freak ones. Like, it just happens, you know. Like, it's nobody's fault. Shit happens in football, but it sucks. It's a shitty day. It's a shitty day. From Thomas, Gallup in a pick for a corner. We have to address corner. I don't know if you need to. You have Deron Bland. You have Jordan Lewis. You have Noah Ibinaga, who you traded for. You have Nashawn Wright on IR. He'll be good to go in a few weeks. You have Eric Scott. I don't know if you actually need to go get a corner. You did tell Tex that you... Perfect, thank you. I don't know if you need to go get one. We'll do replacements tomorrow. Make sure you're tuned in for that. But, sure, app. Awesome Cade 1-6. Who steps up in Diggs' spot? It's going to be... Obviously, Stephon Gilmore is now your number one corner. If you didn't have Gilmore, we'd all be clamoring for a corner. I promise you that. Gilmore's number one. Deron Bland will play on the outside. And you now have Jordan Lewis healthy, which I think is a big, big positive from that perspective. Darian Posey from the DMV. It's some dogs on this team that are hungry. Offenses will try it and will be ready. Next man up. Prayers for my boy. Let's go. I think you nailed that one pretty well. Hulk smash your mom. This is bad. What do you think they will do? I don't think they're going to do that much. I think they'll monitor some options. We'll have a list of replacements for you guys tomorrow, but I'm not convinced they're going to go make a blockbuster move for somebody. They have options at corner, much better than what they had last year when Anthony Brown went down. Jarrett Wolf. Time and boys at the cap to go and trade for a contract to your corner. Sign someone. Max up let them go at the end of the year. Thoughts? They can do it. But they also kept Jordan Lewis on the team for this exact situation. So, again, we will have a replacements video for you guys bright and early Friday morning. But they have options at corner. Anthony, $5. Sad for Diggs. We still have Gilmore. Amazing depth. Will be okay. But, man, Diggs and Gilmore were deadly. Going to miss him for sure. Go Cowboys. I completely agree. Keep typing in the sevens to pour one out for Diggs. Or to send good vibes to Diggs, I should say. Rashard Lee. D-line got to step up even more. Yeah, they do. If your front four is good, corners are pretty good too. It's funny how that tends to work out there. Heat Spoon, what's your confidence in the next man up doing with all the targets he's about to get? Deron Bland got targeted a lot last year at nickel. He'll be okay. Jordan Lewis, we'll see how he goes. Remember, you also have Israel Mukuamu, who can play nickel corner too. It sucks. It's a downgrade. It's not as bad as what it was last year, I don't believe. Lenny V23, so Gilmore moves to 1, Bland moves to 2, correct? I strongly believe that our front four can generate enough pressure to help the DBs. You agree? Oh, yeah. You don't. This front four gets home so quick, you don't have to cover for 3 seconds. They have to cover for 2.5 sometimes. It's insane how quickly they can get home. So the Cowboys' defense will not be as good as it could have been without Trevon Diggs. Maybe they allow 13 points instead of 10. They'll be okay. C.J. DeYoung III got here late. What happened to Diggs? Trevon Diggs, unfortunately, tore his ACL today at practice. Just a normal day, one-on-one drill. Tore his ACL. His season's over. It's about as heartbreaking as a development as you could have foreseen. Red Hurricane. I think this will make teams throw it more. I would not be scared of that. Still have Jordan Lewis is now just your nickel corner. Okay? Still have Deron Bland. Still have Stephon Gilmore. Still have that pass rush. I still think NFL teams, if they're trying to win football games against Dallas, are going to try to run the football. They might try to throw it a little bit more, but we'll see. Again, the news of the day, Trevon Diggs injured during Thursday's practice, a torn ACL for the Cowboys corner. His season is over. Hurt in just a pretty routine one-on-one rep. Sucks. It's about as heartbreaking of a situation as you could possibly have there. Can you lead this up for a little bit, Chris, and just kind of give some quick thoughts on this overall?
Man, I really don't even know where to start, honestly. You know, there's been so many injuries, not just here, not just this one, around the league. Man, you got Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Man, you hate to see that. It doesn't matter what team somebody's on. It doesn't matter. You know, these guys, for the most part, are really, really, really good guys. They're not just good football players. And that's what makes it, you know, worse is these guys, you know, they go out there and they just give their all every single week. There's no controversy. There's no controversy with Trevon Diggs. He's not a guy that anybody dislikes. That's what, you know, just really hurts me, you know, looking to injuries like this. Keep getting those 7s in the chat, guys. We're going to try our best to keep the positive vibes up. It's still a long season. You know, get those 7s in the chat. We'll get some quick shout-outs real quick.
I'll be honest, I was wearing the wrong shirt. I had to change. I had to change there. We'll come back to the Lance Dunbars, L. Maddox, Eddie's, Ismail Super Chats here in a little bit as well. But we do have the rest of the show to still work our way through, so we'll get that resumed right now. Today's Cowboys Report is presented by Roan. I'm rocking one of their polos, the ultra comfortable, ultra fitting polos. They've got a bunch of other products as well. They made today's show possible, which is all about trade ideas for the Dallas Cowboys. Trade rumors, I should technically say. Before we get going, I want to hear from you guys. Put your Cowboys trade ideas in the comments. Make them realistic. I will make note, all of these trade rumors came in before the news of the Trevon Diggs torn ACL, so I would not be surprised if there were more cornerback ideas, which I'm certainly okay with. First up, tight end Zach Ertz. This is not the first time that Bleacher Report, they're the source on this one, the first couple actually, is that they've suggested Cowboys got to go get a new tight end. They keep pushing that narrative, which I'm not sure is actually accurate. It does make sense for Arizona, however, which is the first step in making a trade happen. Both sides have to produce the opposing team. I think it's a logical trade candidate. Arizona's clearly rebuilding. This is a rebuilding year. They're not going to be a real contender. Sorry, Arizona fans. Trading Ertz does make sense. It would free up snaps for Trey McBride, the young, talented tight end, who Dallas actually might have more interest in, but I doubt Arizona's going to trade him since Mike liked McBride coming out, by the way. Ertz, through 2 games this year, actually has 12 catches. He's been pretty involved in the passing game. Clearly, Joshua Dobbs likes to look his way. It's a good thing to also take note of as the Cowboys get set up for their own game against Arizona in Week 3. My issue here is twofold. One, do the Cowboys actually need a corner? I am unconvinced that or a tight end. I am unconvinced that they do. Got Diggs on my mind if you can't tell. Ferguson, Schoonmaker, Hendershot, those are 3 young players at the tight end position where you don't have a lot of, problems. Ferguson's got to catch better, some blocking better, but they're young and they're talented. Do you need to pay a high-priced veteran to come in? The Cardinals save about $9.1 million with a trade. Dallas has to pay over $9 million. Now, that I will make note, those numbers, all the numbers you'll see today, by the way, are based on the Week 1 salaries. So what you actually have to do is take the 9.3, divide by 17, multiply by however many games are left of the course of the season. So it's not quite 9.3. Maybe by trade on time it's closer to 7. That's a lot of money to pay for a tight end who maybe is a slight upgrade. I don't think that makes enough sense. So do you want to trade for a tight end? Y for yes, N for no in the comment section. It is today's pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. This one's interesting. Trade for Chase Claypool. Also from Bleacher Reports. And to be quite blunt, why? I really don't understand what we're doing here with this idea. Bleacher was like, oh, it's only $3 million. He brings size. He can cut bait. Why am I trading for a player who, like, the entire Bears was like, yeah, he was terrible in week 1. He was better in week 2. Why am I trading for that guy who has done nothing in Chicago? I get Claypool's a great height, weight, speed prospect. Doesn't matter if you don't catch the football, if you're going to be lazy as a blocker. 9 games played for the player that cost the Bears the number 32 overall pick. And the outcome for Dallas, or for the Bears, has been basically nothing good. He has nothing. He would be what? Wide receiver 5 on this team? Behind Lamb, behind Cooks, behind Gallup. I'd say behind Tolbert. Maybe he's ahead of Turpin. Maybe. I think Jalen Brooks, who's been inactive for the most part outside of week 1, or in week 1 when everyone was healthy, I think he might offer you more special teams blocking stuff. Like, I don't see any logical reason whatsoever to go trade for Chase Claypool when your guys are healthy. That's a stupid, stupid idea. Now, what's not stupid is Roan. The men's closet was due for a radical reinvention, and Roan has stepped up to the challenge. The Commuter Collection is the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man, and here is why. Roan helps get you ready for any occasion with the Commuter Collection. Comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, and polos like I am wearing today. You never have to worry about what to wear with the Roan Commuter Collection. They have 4-way stretch fabric, gives you breathability and flexibility, leaves you free to enjoy whatever life throws your way, from your commute to your work to 18 holes of golf, whatever, Roan has you covered. The Commuter Collection gets you straight through any workday and right into whatever comes next. Head to roan.com/chatsports and use promo code chatsports to get 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you go to RHONE.com/chatsports and use code chatsports. Find your corner office comfort. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. On to the lone defensive player on this list. Of these first 3 names, this is the player that certainly intrigues me the most. Doesn't mean it's all that viable, but I would be happy to get Patrick Queen in Dallas. I think he has been awesome to open up the 2023 season. And the Ravens drafted Trenton Simpson. They paid Roquan Smith. But after a pretty rough start to his career, I've seen Patrick Queen get better each season. Some ups and downs, of course, still mixed in. But he's got 19 tackles through 2 games played this year. If you've been concerned, about the Cowboys' linebacking core issues or perceived issues, they play so many safeties down there, like Queen would solidify that. He would take care of your linebacking concerns. So I do think Queen would make some sense. You'd be able to put Damone Clark back at linebacker 3. He gives you some coverage ability as well. That'd be a great addition. However, the Ravens, who are also undefeated, are not trading a starter away. That doesn't make any sense. They are leaning on Queen. They are contenders. This is maybe would have made sense in the preseason if they were impressed by Trenton Simpson. They are not doing that right now. Again, it takes 2 teams to make a trade. I am always frustrated when major outlets go, what about this player? Well, why would their own team do it? Doesn't make sense at all for the Ravens. Now, we are trying to grow here at the Cowboys. When we promise you if a trade happens, we will have a video on it for you guys. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. I wrap up with the inclusion of Kyle Pitts. A, because I get asked about it in some capacity, whether it's on Twitter, social media, the comment section, X, whatever, every day. Des Bryant's out there going, you got to get Pitts to Dallas. To be clear, I think Kyle Pitts is kind of like a dream option for Dallas. Before we get to my thoughts on the feasibility of Kyle Pitts, who is your dream Cowboys trade target? Drop that player name for me in the comment section right now. Pitts unquestionably would be a very fun addition for the Dallas Cowboys. However, we always have to ask ourselves this too. Why would the Falcons trade him? Now, his numbers after his first year, where he's been hurt in year 2, limited targets in year 3, have not been that great. He was also a 1,000-yard tight end as a rookie. Those dudes don't happen very often. Pitts is an awesome football player. And although the Falcons are not targeting him the way I would like to see him targeted, make no mistake about that, do not get your hopes up here. Do not. As not the reality of the situation. The Falcons' offense is weird. They feature Matt Collins. Bijan's this like hybrid receiver running back, but it's actually good. It works. And it works because of the presence of guys like Drake London, of Kyle Pitts, even if their target share is not what we all think it should be. I would love to get Kyle Pitts. I truly would. But I am not expecting that he ends up in Dallas or anywhere because it doesn't make sense for the Falcons to trade him away. The unfortunate news of the day, I'll make note of this quickly too here. Tyler Biadasz is now on the Cowboys injury report as well after he suffered a apparent hamstring injury, which I don't know how all your offensive linemen keep having hamstring issues. I don't have any more details beyond that for Biadasz. It would be a disastrous outcome if he misses time. But the big news, of course, is that Trevon Diggs' season is over. He has suffered a torn ACL at practice today. That certainly does not bode very well for Dallas or anything. It is a heartbreaking development for the Cowboys, for Diggs, for his family, everyone. It sucks. It really sucks for Dallas. There's no way around it. Just a brutal development. Really is. So type your 7s in the comment section to send some good vibes in the direction of Trevon Diggs with his season now over. Again, it'll be Deron Bland on the outside. He's played very well this year. Stephon Gilmore's still there. Jordan Lewis then gets to take over at the nickel corner spot, which that's why you kept him, right? Like that's why you kept him. Some super chats coming in. I want to hit those here. Then we'll get to our mailbag, and we'll probably take some super chats that have come in on that, but keep it pretty open. There's been a lot of super chats so far. Last one was on Lance Dunbar's burner account. Tom, give us a favorite candy question or something. I can't keep talking about Diggs. It makes me sad. Let's get a little greedy. Williams. He'll be on our replacements list. Favorite candy in the comments if you want to distract yourself from the sad news today. Sound off. Elmatic 7. Remove the curse. Put Jimmy in the ring of honor. We're cursed and doomed if we don't. I don't believe in curses. I will always poke fun about them. But that's not a great outcome for Dallas either. But he deserves to be in. He truly, truly does. Eddie Logan. That's why we have depth. These corners have to step up. Yeah, I agree. Bland, Lewis, etc. Those guys got to get going. Ishmael Farouk. Does Diggs transfer to the playoffs? I don't foresee that happening. I think that's a pretty unlikely outcome. Medical science has come a long way. I don't think it's quite come ACL recovery in 6 months, not even 6 months. How many months until February? I'm not going to do math on the fly here. Months until, let's just say, January. Shit, it's 3 months. 4 months, basically, to mid-January. He ain't going to be back. He ain't going to be back in 4 months. No way. Fargate 01. Heard Biadasz hurt with a hamstring. Yeah, Tyler Biadasz did leave today with a hamstring injury. I'm trying to see if I can get any info on this, so give me a second here. But yeah, he did leave with a hamstring today for Biadasz. By the way, for those of you wondering, good note from Michael Gelkin, they were working on their grass field today. So it was not turf related. They were out there on their outdoor natural grass turf field today. So it's not that angle there. As for Biadasz, scheduled for an MRI. Don't know what you would do if Biadasz can't go. You'd probably have to call up Hoffman. Maybe you make Hoffman a game day signing, but then you need Sean Harlow too. Like that'd be, ooh. The Biadasz one, like we know he's out for the year. We can deal with that. Biadasz is also concerning because you don't have a backup center on your roster right now. Only practice squad guys. We'll see. Chris B. This Diggs news got me down in the dumps, man. Was nice to have two dominant corners. Back to last year all over again. Now Tyler B getting MRI as well. Yeah, sucks. Hopefully Biadasz is okay. Any hamstring strain, they're going to or pull, they're going to do an MRI on. But if Biadasz can't go, you were this fucking close to having your starting offensive line out there for an entire season. For like the first time, you're like all together. You haven't had it since the playoffs of 2021. And now Biadasz might miss time too. Just sucks, man. Just sucks. Lone Wolf, seems like Cooks was cleared. We will get to our preview in a little bit. But yes, Cooks was a full participant, Adoga was a full participant, and Tyler Smith was a full participant. So all those guys should be playing this week. Gangsta Big Chungus, are we effed at cornerback now? Bland better be ready. I don't think you're effed. Like, Bland played a lot last year and was really good. Israel Mukuamu was great in nickel in the playoff game, right, against the Bucs. You have Jordan Lewis. I think you'll be okay. Toxic Tom Downey burner account. Is that a Photoshop Joshua Dobbs with hair? Well, you know, I think he put a hair and extended the forehead up. If there was a DC who can overcome this, it's Dan Quinn. Yeah, at least you have some depth. Sam, 20-piece. Thank you, Sam. Our D will still be top 5. Bland will do great things. I'm worried about how his Diggs will play once he's back. Future problem. You know, it took Gallup a while. Steele and Pollard to be pretty good coming off their injuries, so we'll wait and see on that front. I love Gilmore. Will he be able to hold up against other teams' number ones? And is Lewis good to go at nickel? I think Lewis will be good to go. It might be more of like a pitch count for Lewis and Mukuamu getting some more run there. I don't think they're going to shadow Gilmore. So I don't think you're going to ask like Gilmore to follow like Terry McLaurin around, A.J. Brown around each week. Like they'll probably keep them on their sides. It is a loss, no doubt about it. It's a shitty one. Today sucks. No way around it from that perspective. Brian Parsons, trade for Awuzie, bring him back. The Bengals aren't going to trade him because they're trying to win games. He's actually been really good in Cincinnati, by the way. He's coming back from his own ACL tear. He's been good, though. The Bengals are not going to trade him. Good thought, though. Good thought. MG burner account. That's how far deep we are on this channel. We have burner accounts of like troll accounts here. That's how far deep we are. Not too worried about Diggs. I believe in Dan Quinn. By the way, I've not seen MG's now going by Michael Paul, but he didn't change his profile picture, which was what makes it funny. Chris Heim, Duran Bland stepping up again. Want to stay on the active roster. You mean Wanye Thomas? I'm not sure who Juan 2 is. I'm not sure who we're referring to there. I'm not sure, Chris. But yes, Duran Bland is going to have to step up here. No doubts about that one. All right, it is mailbag time. So any new super chats that get in on the show, we will bring up here. Some of the other like non-super crazy dedicated toward Diggs super chats will hit as well. General questions you can also get on the show. via hashtag Cowboys. That puts you in the queue for producer Chris to find your question, bring it up on screen, which otherwise they just get buried. And there's 1,500 people watching today. Like it's going to get buried otherwise. So haven't already, get your questions in via Super Chat, via hashtag Cowboys. Joe's Super Chat, will hit that as part of the live show here, or the mailbag, I should say. Pick some good Super Chats that have come in. Maybe like I think the one that came in earlier on was the Jamal Adams one is a good one to hit. But hit some of those as well. Get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or by Super Chatting here live on the Cowboys Report. This is the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey answering your questions as they come in on our live Thursday mailbag. Joe, how does Diggs affect the salary cap? Does the money free up? Good question. The answer is no. Injured players still get paid. They will go to IR. They're still going to get paid. It's the unfortunate reality of injuries, but it does not free up any money. In fact, it's actually a little bit more expensive. You have to sign someone to your active roster. Diggs was not costing you much this year. His number barely rose after his extension, so not a huge factor, frankly, in the short term or the long term, as long as he comes back good and healthy. Rashard Lee, can we get Jamal Adams to play linebacker? Adams, I do think, would fit in kind of this like safety linebacker role or whatever, but Adams has not been playing very much. He has actually not made his season debut yet. Until, in theory, this upcoming week, I think he's going to play for the first time. But Seattle's a contender. Like, they're trying to win football games, or at least they view themselves as a playoff contender. I would be surprised if Dallas or in Seattle shopped and talked Adams trade. Dallas has the guys to play that safety linebacker role. They don't need to go get Jamal Adams. Jarrett Wolf, Tom and the boys at the Cap to go and trade for a contract to your corner. Sign someone max cap, let them go at the end of the year. Thoughts? They have the availability. I don't know if the Cowboys view corner as a, oh my God, we got to sign somebody right now situation. Deron Bland's going to play on the outside. Jordan Lewis will be your nickel. Israel Mukuamu can play on the nickel. Eric Scott and Noah Igbignogany, your two additions this offseason, can play on the outside. And Deshaun Wright is going to be available in the not-too-distant future once he's of IR. Now, if Bland or Lewis are really bad, maybe you can revisit that, or if there's another injury, you certainly should. But for now, I think Dallas thinks they're in an okay spot at this stage. From Stephen Jones's assistant, can Micah win NFL MVP? Can, yes. Likely, really tough step. Here are the updated odds from our friends over at BetUS. Tua Tagovailoa is entering week 3, your betting favorite, plus 700. Patrick Mahomes is plus 800. Josh Allen is plus 900 because it's still heavily preseason odds based there. Jalen Hurts plus 1,000. Lamar Jackson plus 1,000. Micah is plus 6,000. He is behind running backs in the MVP odds. I think ignoring the quarterback boost, you can make a very easy argument that Micah is the best player in football. But winning MVP is an entirely different animal and beast from that perspective. It's not exactly easy to win because it's a heavily quarterback-based award. But is Micah the best player in the NFL? 1 for yes, he is. 2 for no, he is not. So sound off for me at the pinned comment of today's show with your responses. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Rashard Lee, can we trade for Jalen Johnson from the Bears? I would be surprised. The Bears trading away their best corner might get that regime fired. So they might not want to be sellers, even though he is a contract year player. Decent name to mention. We'll probably have him on our trade replacement video, but I'd be a bit surprised if that's the route that they ended up going. From Andy, trade candidates. What do you think? This is my first super chat. I mean, 2 claps for Andy then. This sucks bad. Again, live people, you're watching live right now. Tomorrow, Friday morning, we will have a video on trade candidates, etc. I am unconvinced they'll make one. Give me some to make some calls, do some research. I'll figure out some trade options. But, Jalen Johnson would be a fun one. I doubt the Bears would trade him away, but there will be some names we can monitor. It's not going to be a superstar name. You're not getting Patrick Surtain from Denver. Give up that dream, I promise you. Ecuador man AOG, if we're counting on Deshaun Wright, we're effed. I'm not saying you're counting on him to play. I'm saying if he comes back from IR, there's your fourth outside corner option. Your fourth outside corner option. You'll be okay. And if you do have to play Deshaun Wright, then you're looking for more people at that point, kind of like what you were last year. Cowboys Sports Report by Charles in Charge. I think 26 will show how good he is. What do you think? We saw it last year. I actually think he can maybe be a better outside corner than he was at the nickel. So I actually feel pretty confident about DaRon Bland. I'm actually more curious how Jordan Lewis, coming off his own brutal foot injury, fares in a bigger role this year. Today's Cowboys Report is sponsored by AG1. I have AG1 literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at drinkag1.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning, and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. Once I've got baby Olivia set up with her breakfast, I make my own AG1. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning anymore, and I feel energized throughout the day, and it empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional basis today literally couldn't be any easier. That's why I trust AG1. I mix one small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing this morning, sometimes with apple juice if I'm feeling the need for a little bit extra stuff in there. It's done just like that, and I like that it costs less than $3 a day. It's pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. It's a win-win. So if a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then AG1 is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/chatsports. That's drinkag1.com/chatsports. Check it out, folks. The link is in the comment section, and it's in the description of today's show. Super Chat, $5. Intelligent Savage, 629. We will be just fine. Everyone move up one, and we'll revisit corner by week 5 if need be. Exactly right. You could always revisit, but for now, I think you're going to be okay. I think you nailed that one, Intelligent Savage, the username. Hopefully you did nail it, because otherwise we'll all be pretty mad. Cammy Spades, what the guy we got from Miami? That's Noah Igbinoghene, the former first-round pick. He was playing better in Miami. Dallas wanted outside corner depth. This is why. In case someone went down, they wanted extra depth. Now they have that in Igbinoghene, and we'll see how Bland and Lewis and maybe Noah fare. Ideally, it's a blowout in week 3, and you can give him some reps on the outside. MG Burner account. Should we be more worried about the Biotish injury? He's a ball hawk when it comes to fumbles. I am worried about the Tyler Biotish injury. As of filming, all we know is hamstring injury, getting an MRI. I don't know if it's bad or not. I'll take this back. Adam Schefter just reported, we're going to film this live on Thursday, Tyler will be okay. So I'm going to stay positive. He'll be fine. And it's like the Tyron Smith injury and Zach Martin rolling. Like, they're fine. They'll play on Sunday. If it's not, it's going to be Brock Hoffman. I think it's what terrifies me. Jenkins Gaming, trade our number 1 for Surtain. I would do it in a heartbeat. I don't see Denver doing it. Denver giving up their premier, I think if you're bringing the top corners in the NFL, the healthy ones right now, it might be Patrick Surtain is the best corner in football. At minimum, it would require a Jalen Ramsey-esque offer, and I doubt either side would even do it anyway. Carl Bass, can Dallas get Kyle Pitts? I don't think so. The money is actually doable for both sides, but Atlanta is a playoff threat in a not good NFC South. Why would they trade away a key piece? Their usage of Pitts is weird, But the offense works in part because of Pitts. Not going to happen. At least I don't think so. So name a player. I'm sure we'll get some good cornerback names here. Name a player you want to trade for. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Damien's having fun. Let Micah get some reps at corner. Wouldn't that be funny? Micah got some reps at corner. They're not going to. But he could probably do it, honestly. Gangsta Big Chungus, should we try to get Byron Jones? If he's healthy. I kind of think Byron's done. There was the report statement saying, he was retiring, whatever. I don't foresee Byron Jones playing football. Allegedly, when Byron had left Miami, he'd stopped by Britt Brown and checked out with him, and Britt's like, yeah, dude, you can't play anymore. Allegedly, there was some contact there once he had been released by the Dolphins. So I would not get my hopes up for Byron Jones. $5 super chat from Remy. As good as our pass rush is, we might be okay. Plus, Bland could be as good as Diggs. Get an opportunity. What do you think? I don't think he's as good as Diggs, but he's also really good. Bland has been a gem of a find by this Cowboys football team. I'm less worried about Bland and more going, how is Jordan Lewis going to fare as the nickel corner coming off his injury, playing 10 snaps before this? We'll see. They'll be okay. It is a loss, and it does suck. Make no mistake about it. Now, we will be live for the Cowboys-Cardinals Week 3 matchup right here on the channel. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button right now. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Free Cowboys videos, plus weekly live watch parties, multiple live shows per week when you sub. Vince, how do we beat the Eagles with Brown and Smith? You beat the Eagles last year when you were trotting out this disastrous rotation of corners. When you didn't have Gilmore and you were trying Nashawn Wright gets a shot and let's try Xavier Rhodes off the street. You can still win football games with your depth at corner. It sucks, but you can still win them. Joshua Vandersher, haven't paid much attention, but is Jordan Lewis playing? Put him back in nickel, but that's how we should be fine. That is the plan for the Cowboys. Now, we'll see how it fares in Week 3, probably Week 4 as well. Then they'll make some more decisions if needed. But yeah, Diggs and Diggs' replacement plan is what you said. Lewis and nickel, Bland on the outside. Bobby Hill's burner. No propane comments, I guess, here. Start Jalen Tolbert over Michael Gallup. I am not there yet. The game script has not been favorable to any non-CeeDee Lamb wide receiver because you've been up by so much so late here. So I wouldn't, get my hopes up of no results. Well, you've been winning games, so I can't read too much into that there. I do need Gallup to get going at some point, though. I'm paying him. He has to contribute. We'll see if and when that happens. Pick a wide receiver. You guys can answer the question, though. I'm going with Gallup for now. Door open to check in again later in the year. Pick a wide receiver. JT for Jalen Tolbert. MG for Michael Gallup. Chris B, at least we finally get to see all three safeties play. Yep, seems that way. Seems that Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, and Jaron Kearse will be out there for the Cowboys. From Neto, Steven Nelson, Jalen Johnson, Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis, the Bucs are kind of good somehow this year, so I wouldn't get my hopes up for a trade at that point. Jalen Johnson, again, I doubt he's available at this point. I think the Bears kind of need him to win football games. I have not checked in on how Nelson's doing with the Texans, but the Texans are bad, so that could certainly be an option. His size is not ideal for what Dan Quinn likes, but that's, I think, the most viable name of the three. Cowboys SZN. Hey, Tom, got to go cry about Trevon. Prediction for cards and boys. Love the vids. Score prediction does not change. I've got the Cowboys winning about 33-10. Should still win. Arizona has Marquise Brown and nobody else at receiver. Joshua Dobbs, a mid-offensive line. They should be fine. DeLunatic. D will rally if they line up and they get effed up. I think this Cowboys team is pretty close. I think they'll be okay. It sucks. It's you're not as good now without Trevon Diggs. The season is not over. And the last one from Brian Parson. First and third and Gallup for Surtain. Denver says no. If you want Patrick Surtain, folks, at minimum, it is a Jalen Ramsey type of offer. First, third, and Gallup is not enough. The heartbreaking news of the day for the Dallas Cowboys. Trevon Diggs' season is over. A torn ACL for the Cowboys standout corner. Just a brutal development. One-on-one work on turf, by the way. Or no, excuse me, on grass. And look what happens. Just a brutal development. Update on Tyler Biadasz, excuse me. Adam Schefter says he'll be okay. I don't know if that means he plays this week or not, but that's the update. So Diggs' season is over. Hopefully Tyler Biadasz is okay as well, but today sucks. There's no way around it. It is just a shitty development for the Cowboys, for Diggs, and everyone involved. What is your confidence level, folks, in beating the Cardinals after the Trevon Diggs injury? Sound off for me in the comment section right now. What's your confidence level? 1 to 10. Drop that number in there for me. 10s, 2s. 2? That's the Cardinals. I think you're still going to be okay. 10, 69, 10, 7. 7 might be a good number, just to, meme it. 7, 10. I'm just hurt, man. That's fair. I think we all are. 7, 8, 10. Some super chats coming in. Ethan Tyra, $5. Cam Dantzler to add depth. Good name of the free agent guys. I think depth is all you'd be asking for there because he's bounced around a few teams and keeps getting cut. It's probably not a good sign. Thinking Gilmore, Bland, and Mukuamu in the slot. You have Jordan Lewis there too. I would not be shocked if in this upcoming game against the Cardinals, it's a Mukuamu-Lewis rotation at nickel corner. Igbignogany probably ends up being active this week. We shall see about Eric Scott. He's been a scratch as of late, but you have options at least. Confidence level beating the Cardinals, 1 to 10. A lot of high numbers in there. It's understandable. That's kind of how it should be. The Cardinals will fight and claw and scrape. They are not going to roll over and die on you. They'll compete. I'll give Jonathan Gannon some credit. With a bunch of no names on that football team, look through that depth chart and you go, who? They've actually played pretty well. So I will give them credit for that. Keep the comments coming. 1 to 10, your confidence level in beating the Cardinals. Let's go to Samuel's Super Chat. Then we'll get started with the final portion here of today's show. Samuel, a $10 Super Chat. Do you think Diggs will play like he used to once he gets back next year? I know there might be some nervousness at first. Hope his mental state is good. So I'm praying for a fast recovery. In general, most players don't fully get back until the second year. But if he's still at 90%, that's fine. I'm gonna block Eagles crew for being a little bitch. I'm just not taking it. You're celebrating an injury. Get a fucking life. You pathetic loser. That's all you are. If you're celebrating an opposing team's injury, you are a miserable human being. Unless that person sucks. I was happy when Greg Hardy got cut. We all know that, right? But that's not Diggs. Come on. Be a mature adult for once in your miserable life. Let's go to Chris B. Super Chat one more time here. More supers coming in. To finish up Samuel's question. Injuries are injuries. Some guys aren't the same. Most people are. So I think Diggs will be good. Just there will need to be some adjustment time. It's an early season injury, so he's got almost 12 years. Or 12 months. 12 years. Jesus, what am I talking about? Chris B. 2020, Dak gets hurt. 2021, D-Law, MG ACL in 2022. Tyron Smith, hamstring, still ACL. Diggs ACL. Why every goddamn year? That's football. It happens. It's not, it sucks. And it's stupid that it happened at a practice too. It's football. Injuries happen. It's lame. By the way, for those of you asking about the Rodgers procedure, different injury. That's an Achilles versus a knee. Those are not the same procedure that would magically, and I doubt Rodgers is back anyway, that would get Diggs back on there. So unfortunately, he's done for the season. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Roan. I am rocking one of their polos, and you should as well. The Commuter Collection is the best option for your closet, polos, dress shirts, and more. Appreciate Roan sponsoring today's show. As a reminder, before we preview this game, matchups, players to watch, we will be live for the Cowboys at the Arizona Cardinals. Week 3 matchup will be live about an hour and a half again before kickoff because it's fun, it's entertaining, so make sure you are subscribed. Dallas is a heavy favorite, although I will make note these odds and over-unders set before the Trevon Diggs injury could see maybe a half-point adjustment on either side from that perspective because, unfortunately, Trevon Diggs' season is over for the Dallas Cowboys. Injured during Thursday's practice. It's a torn ACL for Diggs. A one-on-one rep. Pretty normal stuff. And Diggs, unfortunately, ends up going down. That means it will be Deron Bland and Stephon Gilmore on the outside. And you will also see Jordan Lewis, maybe some Israel Mukuamu, maybe at nickel corner as well. Some other Cowboys injury news and notes to get into. These are all, we're doing this on our Thursday live show, but we have enough developments on the injury front. I am going to list Brandon Cooks as probable. He was a full participant at Thursday's practice. He's going to be good to go. Tyler Smith seems set to return as well. He was a full participant at Thursday's practice. So again, barring setbacks, these guys should be good to go. Donovan Wilson, full both days. He should be back out there. I am going to continue to list Chuma Adoga as questionable, although he was back out there in the full participant standpoint as well, which is a pretty good development for the Dallas Cowboys that he was upgraded to full there. As for Zach Martin, I'm going to put him as questionable. The Cowboys continue to say he should be good to go with that ankle injury. And they had the groin last week, by the way, as well. But he hasn't practiced Wednesday or Thursday. They're being smart. They're managing it. I get this isn't as like, oh, he's totally fine vibe as maybe they had previously let on. So I do think that one is worth mentioning for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, one other critically important injury to mention. Tyler Biadasz suffered a hamstring injury at Thursday's practice. We can't have nice things as Cowboys fans. Biadasz, Adam Schefter says that his source told him Tyler's going to be okay. Hopefully he plays on Sunday. If he cannot go, you are staring down a standpoint of you're going to probably have to play Brock Hoffman at center, and that's scary. So we'll see on Biadasz. If news happens, we will update you guys. Carlos Watkins is next up here. He's going to be out, bicep surgery. That's the Cowboys legend. He's not going to be good to go. I think you'll see Lucky Fotu able to play. That's the defense tackle. We'll see about linebacker Josh Woods' ankle injury. I'll put him as questionable. Kelvin Beachum should be fine as well. Not too many major news for Arizona, although it is worth mentioning Budda Baker has already been placed on IR. So will the Cowboys cover that 13-point spread? It's today's pinned comment, so go vote. Y for yes, N for no. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. All right, matchup number 1. Then we'll get to some players to watch. the Cowboys offensive line against the Arizona Cardinals pass rush. You're assuming Arizona's got a bad pass. You don't know anybody. They have no TJ Watt. The Cardinals are tied for third in the NFL in sacks. Level of competition impacts that too, sure. But Arizona somehow has actually gotten really good results from their pass rush with a no-name defense under Jonathan Gannon. You will see, and we'll get into this more in depth, plenty of exotic looks. They're going to try to confuse your quarterback. Your O-line, amid more injuries again somehow, is going to have to be locked in and playing well. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Roan. The Commuter Collection, I am rocking one of their polos, is the most comfortable, breathable set of products known to mankind, from pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, polos, and more. You never, ever have to worry about what to wear with the Roan Commuter Collection. 4-way stretch fabric is your breathability, flexibility for whatever life throws your ways, dinner, drinks, golf, whatever. They have Gold Fusion anti-odor technology. You'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. On top of that, Roan is machine washable, so no dry cleaner BS. The Commuter Collection can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. Head to roan.com/chatsports and use promo code chatsports. Save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order at RHONE.com/chatsports when you use promo code chatsports. Time to find your corner office comfort. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Matchup number 2, deep passing against the secondary. I do not think this Cardinals secondary is very good. Marco Wilson, Trell Clark, Josh Thompson, those guys do not scare me. They do not terrify me as a secondary group. If you're going to find a week to work on some of your deep passing game, this should probably be your week, unless your O-line is banged up and you don't trust it, in which case, I get that angle there. But Dak Prescott's, the passing attack so far this year has been the quick game, which has worked. You've faced a great defense, 2 great defenses, frankly, the Jets and Giants, that can get pressure if they have time. Quick game, bad weather. The game plan has made sense. I think you have a chance, though, to air it out a little bit more frequently this week if you so choose. Your number 3 matchup, let's stick on Dak Prescott and the offense here. How does Dak fare against the defensive looks? These smart NFL teams are trying to make life hard on your quarterback pre-snap versus post-snap. They're going to show you one thing. They're going to show you 4 down linemen, 2 double A-gap blitzers. They got 2 deep safeties. And then what they're going to do is they're going to drop a linebacker, drop 2 linebackers, rotate a safety down. They showed you cover 2. Guess what? It's actually cover 1 robber now. You're not getting what you thought you were going to get. That is what smart teams do. Now, Dak is better than most quarterbacks about handling that. He's very good pre-snap. He puts in the effort, before games to know what's going to come, but every quarterback gets tricked. And that's where the mistakes can happen, is if you're thinking it's, okay, this looks like cover 2, I got it. You drop back, it's cover 3. And you see that pump fake hesitation? Almost saw it against the Jets, right? It was almost a pick 6. That is tricky. The Cardinals, because they have to, will try to confuse Dak Prescott. Because if you sit back there and say, it's cover 3, it's man, he's going to dice you apart. You have to try to confuse him. Number 4, the linebackers against the play action. I don't know what the Cardinals are going to do with this offensive attack. I would assume they try to run the football a lot. Doesn't mean that's going to be the outcome, but they will try to use play action too. In fact, Joshua Dobbs is 3rd in the NFL in play action attempts this season, behind Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins. Guess what? He's pretty good in play action, like most quarterbacks are. Matchup number 5, how about the Cowboys against themselves? This is a game you should win. I get you're down Trevon Diggs. You've got some more injury concerns now popping up because that's how this Cowboys team apparently does things now. But The only way you lose to Arizona is if you beat yourself. They are not a better team than you. So it's on the road. There may be some desperate football theory, whatever. Take care of business. No self-inflicted wounds, no turnovers, no flags. Take care of business against a lesser opponent. Do not play down to your competition against a team that will fight and punch above their weight class. So what is your confidence level in the Cowboys beating the Arizona Cardinals? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comment section. All right, players to watch. Number 1, Michael Gallup. What's up, buddy? You okay? You haven't done anything. 2 catches, 13 yards in 2 games. The game scripts have not been favorable. I acknowledge that. Lamb was getting fed as he absolutely should have been fed, but it's not like he's been heavily involved. This is a great week to get Gallup involved. Let's see that he can do it, even if the team isn't always going to do it, depending on game script. So let's get Gallup going here, all right? Number 2, Osa Odigizua. He's got 3 sacks this year. His breakout season might already be upon us. And the Cardinals' interior offensive line is not very good. I think Osa should feast against Will Hernandez. I think it's Yelda Froholt is the Cardinals center. It sounds like a made-up name. Exactly, right? I'm forgetting the name of the other guard who's the worst of the bunch there. You should have success, interior rushers. I want you guys now to predict the score of the Cowboys against the Cardinals. Head down there, get your votes in right now. Top 5 player to watch, number 3. Damone Clark has not played up to the higher expectation level that some of us had for him this year. Not only that, Damone Clark has kind of lost some playing time to Marquise Bell. I would like for him to get going. Make some splash plays. We have not said impact play by Damone Clark really yet this year. Change it in week 3. Number 4, Tony Pollard, the running back. I suspect because of those exotic blitzes, the Cardinals will show those simulated pressures. They're going to show 6 or 7 guys blitz it. They're going to bring 4 to 5. You're probably going to have Tony Pollard in for pass protection more. He's done a good job this year. Plus, he'll get plenty of carries on the ground. He has to step up there to give your quarterback time. Finally, Donovan Wilson should be back this week for the Dallas Cowboys. Zach Ertz has been heavily involved in the passing game. He's a good run stopper, too. I would love the secondary, all taking turns getting turnovers. It's Dono's time this week. Unfortunately, it will not be time for Trevon Diggs. His season is over. A torn ACL for the Cowboys corner, hurt in a one-on-one rep. It's just an unbelievably painful development for the Cowboys, who are now down their best corner. It's a very sad development for Dallas. Get your 7s in the comment section. Then we'll get caught up on the super chats that have come in here. But send the good vibes out here for Trevon Diggs. Type your 7s in the comment section. I don't blame anybody. It's a freak injury. They happen sometimes, and boy, do they suck. We begin with a $50 super chat from Dwayne Jackson. Because when the NFL schedules are released, is the NFL trying to get rid of division versus division? Example, AFC East playing the AFC East this year, also playing NFC West teams. Is the NFL experimenting with this type of schedule? Not really. What they've added is they've added the one crossover game as well, but it's a lot easier for the NFL schedule makers to rotate through the other divisions. It keeps some parity, keeps the balance, and you're not getting in a situation where you haven't played one team in like 7 years, It keeps it balanced from that perspective. But Dwayne, thank you very much for that super chat. Lance Dunbar's burner account, my new pitch for Dallas slogan, Cowboys country, let's buck. Buck up, maybe? I don't know. I guess that works. It's fine. It's like Cowboys country, let's ride. But it's better than Russell's, I guess. Also, Bland and Lewis are dogs, not worried at all. Hope you're right, my friend. Blackwater Boxing. Sorry I'm late. Do you think Dallas will go out to the team for replacement? First off, never apologize for being late. People have jobs. You can't always be watching when it's Johnson. I get it. You are okay, my friend. We will have a full video tomorrow morning for you guys. I would say no, probably not. Ethan Tyra, this won't hurt as bad as before because the Cowboys pass rush is much better. You also have better corner options. Last year you lost Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis, and you didn't have Stephon Gilmore. Now you have Jordan Lewis. You have Stephon Gilmore. Deron Bland's been a gem for you. You also got some intriguing depth in Noah Igbenogany, maybe Eric Scott. Israel Mukuamu emerged down the stretch as well. Lights out CJ, make Tony Romo an offensive coordinator. I think Dax would be a better coach than Tony would be. I think Romo's a better commentator. I think Dak would be a better coach. I think that, Romo does a great job on air. There was the drama around him last year. I think Dak would make a better OC. By the way, neither guy should start as an OC. Work your way up. I'm not going NBA style. Oh, you're a former player, you're our head coach. I don't think that works very well. Let's get to our next goal, folks. 163,000 subscribers. I suspect we will get there either before game day this Sunday or just after game day, or during game day on Sunday, excuse me. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you missed the Trevon Diggs injury news, the full cut is available on the channel. Go check it out. We'll be back again tomorrow morning with Trevon Diggs injury replacements for you guys as well.